Netflix hasn't had the best of times lately, but it seems like things are looking up. Is there going to be a new Castlevania anime? Will there be a Squid Game Season 2? Why are Manifest fans upset about a sneak peek of Season 4?
And The Witcher Season 3 may have cast a False Ciri.
Let's take a look at what's to come from Netflix. But first, Castlevania Nocturne is officially in production at Netflix. The Castlevania franchise has amassed a total of 29 video games since its conception in 1986. In it, some of the most iconic heroes and villains in video game history found their first home, but above all others, Dracula, and several of the vampire-hunting Belmont clan, like Trevor and Simon. Since Castlevania was given a new lease on life in 2017, when the first 4 episodes of its first anime adaptation landed on Netflix, millions of subscribers around the world were instantly hooked by the animation of Powerhouse Animation. And in the next 4 years, 4 more seasons would be released. But after those 4 seasons, Castlevania came to an end in 2021, and fans were left wondering if this truly meant the end of Castlevania anime adventures. But those worries are no more. Netflix has revealed that the production of Castlevania Nocturne has officially started. We would have been surprised if Castlevania had disappeared completely, but it is nice to finally have some confirmation. There's no word yet as to who might be cast for the new series, and the same goes for the exact plot. We do know that the general story will follow Richter Belmont, who's born a few hundred years after his ancestor Trevor Belmont's clash with Dracula in the 17th century. In the games, Richter is the protagonist of Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night, but we'll have to wait and see. Next, Kim Cattrall is coming back to our screens with Glamorous. Sex and the City fans were gutted when it was confirmed Kim Cattrall would not be coming back to portray her iconic Samantha Jones in the Sex and the City reboot, even if her absence was tactfully touched upon. But if we're to believe Cattrall, she was never even asked to join Sarah Jessica Parker, Cynthia Nixon, and Kristen Davis. And in recent years, Cattrall has made it more than clear that even if she were to be invited, she has absolutely no intention to return to Sex and the City, which is exactly why everyone who has always been a fan of her powerful portrayal of ruthlessly and shamelessly owning her feminine strength is doing a little happy dance right now, because Cattrall is back, starring in a new Netflix series called Glamorous. Glamorous follows Marco Mejia, a gender non-conforming queer person who's just trying to make it big in the beauty industry while figuring out what it really means to be queer. Marco, who will be portrayed by the lovely YouTube star Miss Betty, is barely out of high school when he's hired by Madeline Addison, former supermodel, CEO, entrepreneur, and founder of Glamorous Cosmetics. Cattrall will be the one stepping into Addison's shoes, and together with Marco, she's going to find out what the hell is going on in her company. And now, why we won't get Stranger Things in weekly doses, even if we complain. Ever since it was revealed that Stranger Things would be dropped in 2 volumes, there have been fans that have complained about its release schedule, or maybe the lack thereof is more accurate, because some fans are convinced that it would have been much better if the show had opted to drop 1 episode every 7 days instead of a whole bunch of them at the same time. That way, Stranger Things would have had the upper hand in every conversation for 9 weeks straight, not to mention how it would have had a devastating effect on the impact of Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan, and generated a lot more discussions and theories about the plot of Stranger Things, as was pointed out in a tweet by a frustrated fan, and at least 100,000 people agreed with them. It's not like Netflix hasn't done something similar before, but Netflix's head of scripted series for the United States and Canada, Peter Friedlander, told Variety that actually this is how fans of Stranger Things have watched the show from the beginning. Stranger Things is synonymous to binge watching to most of its fans. Friedman pointed out that such a huge change from sudden drop to trickle would be disappointing. Stranger Things is a seasonal experience, and a huge part of that experience would be taken away if Netflix cared more about being the talk of the week than delivering the service Stranger Things fans have come to expect from Netflix, a binge-worthy comfort show. Stay tuned for more Netflix news. Is there going to be a Season 2 of Squid Game?
Who did The Witcher cast for Season 3's False Ciri?
Let's find out. But before we get into that, Manifest fans upset because of sneak peek. It feels like forever ago that Manifest was pronounced dead by NBC and resurrected again by Netflix. Even if Netflix will only give the green light for 1 final season, at least we'll all have a chance to say goodbye and have a shot at some closure. But it's been quiet for so long, with barely any news coming out about Manifest Season 4, fans were looking forward to hearing a release date during Netflix's Geek Week. So on June 6th, a sneak peek was released, giving us a glimpse of what's to come for the Josh Dallas and Melissa Roxburgh-led show. But the end of the 2-minute clip came with an overwhelming feeling of being confronted with something more akin to anticlimax than joy, because no release date was given, and then the clip was over. What the clip does show is the fact that something is about to go down for Michaela Stone as she investigates visits a shipyard in New York City. She breaks into a cargo container, and in the midst of investigating its contents, a man reaches out to her. There's an inscription on his arm which reads Stone 828. Could that be another nod to Flight 828 on the show? All in all, feelings seem mixed. Most fans are glad that the show has finally given a sign of life, but it would be nice if we had been given an idea of when the wait will be over. Next, Squid Game Season 2, Red Light, Green Light. It's the show that caused the sale of green tracksuits to skyrocket and inspired countless Halloween costumes and memes. It laid bare the desperate situation in South Korea's personal debt crisis by making a show filled with cash-strapped contestants who have to play childhood games to make a chance of life-changing sums of money. Squid Game. It's probably the most expected news of the decade, but it's still nice to have an official confirmation from Netflix anyway. Squid Game has been renewed for Season 2. Hwang Dong-hyuk, the writer and director of Squid Game, teased a few details of the upcoming season in a message that was released by Netflix. Hwang says that we can expect both Seong Ji-hoon and the frontman back for Squid Game's second season. You'll also be introduced to Young-hee's boyfriend, Chol-soo, Hwang added. Seong Ji-hoon, also known as the Doll, became a true symbol of the show, but imagining her having a boyfriend is absolutely terrifying. Hwang had previously estimated that if a second season of Squid Game were to be made, it will probably be released in late 2023 or early 2024, which is still very far away. What else can we expect from Squid Game Season 2? Last month, Hwang told Vanity Fair that he wants to ask the question, is true solidarity between humans possible? Are you afraid of the answer too?
Following The Witcher, Season 3 may have cast False Ciri.
Fans of The Witcher books know all too well that the Netflix adaptation has diverted from the source material quite heavily, and so far, Netflix has done a great job at keeping the plot for The Witcher Season 3 under tight wraps. However, details of cast and plot have been trickling out in bits and pieces, giving fans enough to speculate and theorize on the upcoming third season of The Witcher. It seems like actress Frances Pooley has been cast to portray a character called Teryn. No, this isn't a name that's found in any of The Witcher books.
Who you would find in Sapkowski's books is someone who is only known as False Ciri.
This girl, who bears a very strong resemblance to the real Princess Cirilla, makes her debut in the book Time of Contempt, when she is sent to Emhyr, the Emperor of Nilfgaard. Emhyr quickly sees through her guise,
but the False Ciri refuses to give up her true name.
And now, fans are speculating that the Witcher series has given the girl a name, Teryn. After all, Pooley does have a strong resemblance to Ciri actress Freya Allen, and it's been reported that she and Bart Edwards, who portrays Emhyr, are currently both at Longcross Studios to film scenes from The Witcher. We'll see. And that's it for now. What do you think? Is it better when the entire season of a show is dropped at once, or do you prefer a weekly release of one episode? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.